Hello there, it's Cassie. Welcome back for another Trinity Stamps video. Today we're going to be playing with these brand new products. This is the Zest Wishes stamp set along with the matching die. I love this little set. It's so cute. It even has a little face for your lime or your lemon, however you want to do it. And there's lots of great sentiments, and then you have matching dies for all of the pieces in that little set. Then we're also going to be using this striped background. I love this stamp. We're going to show you an easy way to stamp with it because it is a clear stamp, and these are actually a lot easier than you think they are. So I'm just going to take off that release paper on our stamp, and then I'm going to ink up the stamp using some overzealous ink. And I'm just kind of matching that up. I've used my tonic platform to hold everything down, and then I can manipulate that where I want it and just make sure I stamp that really, really well. And then when I pull it away, it looks great. So we'll clean up our mess here, and then I'm going to ink up the stamp one more time. We're going to use some Psych ink, and I'm going to do it going this way. So we're going to make some basic cross hatches with that and stamp that down the exact same way we did before. Pull it away, and you have a perfectly stamped image. I'm going to bring in that overzealous again in one of my blending putties, and we're going to just blend that across the bottom. I wanted that to kind of ground it a little bit more. And then I am going to stamp out my lime. So I'm going to make it a lime, not a lemon this time. And we'll ink that up using some overzealous ink. And then I'm going to show you a trick. I've used the rock and roll technique before, but this time, hello Max, wants to come in and say hello to mom. We're going to use a blending buddy. So I'm going to pick up some ink. This is a darker ink called Fake Plant. And I'm going to just kind of pounce it on the bottom of that lime. Then you can kind of brush it as well if you want and keep stamping. And then you get that darker bit at the bottom. So I'm going to do this again. So we'll ink that up with our overzealous, stamp that down. I'm not cleaning it off in between since they're both greens. Then we'll brush on some of that Fake Plant, stamp it down, and then Max needs love, so I'm going to give him some love. And then I'm going to stamp this 2 more times doing the exact same steps. All right, so now I've got my 4 limes, and then I'm going to bring in my sentiments, and I've chosen Your Simply Sublime. So I've got some black sentiment stock. I'm going to pick the stamps up with a stamp block. We'll use an anti-static powder tool on the bottom of that black cardstock, and then I'll get my detail white embossing powder ready to go. We'll ink this up using some Juicy Embossing ink by Ink on 3. It's a great ink for... it's a clear sticky ink, great ink for embossing like I'm trying to do, and then we'll cover that and make a mess on our glass mat using that white detail embossing powder. And then we're going to hit that with a heat tool until that is smooth and melted. You can even see it changing here in the video. All right, we'll clean up our mess. We'll wipe off some of that excess powder residue, and then I want to do a little splatter. So I'm going to bring in just my microfiber cloth. I'm using one of the older mica stains. This is one of the mica spray stains that was like seasonal. And I believe that one is called Bubbling Cauldron. But I'm just going to splatter that all over that background. And then, of course, I have to bring in my Trinity Gold palette. And the one in the store is smaller than this, but just know, and it's less expensive than this one originally was, but just know that this paint will last you so long. I use that all the time. All right, so I'll show you how this looks up close. There is so much great splatter and sparkle on that background. It just makes me so happy. So we're going to hit that with a heat tool before I run the limes through our die cutting machine with the matching die. And then we'll take a little bit of mint tape and tack that down. And then we can run these through our die cutting machine. Obviously, we'll have to do the lime 4 times. And then once we get that run through, we'll have all of our pieces ready to go. And then we can put all of our dies back. I just have a tiny little piece of magnetic sheet. All right, I've decided how I kind of want this to go. I'm going to use a piece of mint tape to pick up all 3 of those limes, how I had them stacked, and then I can very easily just put some foam tape on the back. Peel off that release paper, and then I can stick those limes right back where they were, and I can peel off that mint tape. But the mint tape will just kind of hold it all in place until I'm ready to stick that down. There you go. For the words, I'm going to bring in some of the Trinity Stamps adhesive foam strips. Now you could probably easily get away with just using 1 tiny strip instead of doubling it up like I'm doing, but I've just decided to go ahead and double it up. It's super simple to do. And then we can peel off the release paper on those. I'm going to start with our bottom word, which is Sublime. So I'll peel off all that release paper and then I can put that one down. And then we can do the same thing for the other two. I just figured it would be easier to line up the sentiment that way. And then grab that last one and do the same thing. You're simply sublime. And then I'll bring in my Crafty Gluefriend and we'll attach this down to an A2 sized card base that measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, all closed up. And then I have my one last lime that needs to go on the inside. And then I can't stop there. I'm going to bring in some Andradite sparkles. These are they've been in the store for a little bit of time, but these are so beautiful and they go so perfectly with not only this background that I've chosen, but also with the lime color. So I'll use my pickup stick, I'll use my Crafty Gluefriend, and I'll pick up all of those on there. And they don't stand out a ton, but it adds a little extra dimension and it goes along with those background splatters so beautifully that I just couldn't stop. And when you find things that match, right, you just want to add it too, at least, or maybe that's just me. But once I'm done with that, that's actually going to finish off the card that I have for you today. I love it so much. I hope you do too. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And be sure to check out all that Trinity Stamps has going on over on their blog, Facebook page, and Instagram for more crafty inspiration. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.